So what's up, guys? I lost my tripod mount, so I gotta find that. But so just ignore the shaky video. Anyways, as you can see behind me, the 8.6 isn't in the garage anymore. Yeah, that's because I sold it. Well, technically I traded it and sold it. Dude gave me cash on top because I finished the car, ran and drove, had its quirks, but I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it. There was no point keeping it around, and I'm sorry I didn't get to finish the build with you guys. But I got a new job, and I was going through some things, and it was really hard to keep up with recording videos. Anyhow, I have two new cars. So I traded the 8.6 for a car and $3,300 cash. And then I went and bought another car. I had already started working on the Firebird before I got these two cars, otherwise the Firebird wouldn't be in the garage yet. I gotta put the rear end back under it and move it out, but I'll do that eventually. Right now, I'm going to show you the car that I traded the 8.6 for. Don't worry, it's a cool car. It's actually one of my dream cars, so I kind of had to do it. It's, well, you'll see. Just teasing. Here's the new car. It's a 1978 Datsun 280Z. I'm not going to point the camera backwards because I don't want you to see the other car yet. It does have the tags from the A86 on it. The interior in this thing is actually really good. I polished it out as best I could, but the paint is crap. It's really crap. Interior is a disaster right now, but and look at the door panels on this thing, dude. The seats are in great shape for the age. The door panels are in great shape for the age. The biggest issue with this car, as most of my viewers can probably guess, is rust. But I did have a Series 1 or S30 Datsun on the channel before, and that one was much worse than this one. This one's in very savable shape, and it runs and drives. I just got to fix the brakes, which I should be doing tomorrow. I was going to bleed them today to see if maybe bleeding them helped, but yeah, I'm just going to replace the master cylinder tomorrow and then bleed them. The old fluid needs to come out anyway, so getting the new master cylinder, bitch bleeding it, will make that better. We'll go over this car in a little more detail here in a second. I want to show you guys the other car that I bought for $3,000. I'm actually really excited about this one. So I bought this car to flip, and then I fell in love with it. And it doesn't run, but it has loads of potential. Loads of potential. So I'll show you that car, and then we'll go over both cars a little more in depth. That's a Sylvia badge. That's an S15 front. I do have the headlights upstairs, but it is not an S15. It is an S13 .5. Well, it was. I took everything off except for the hood. The hood is carbon fiber, though you couldn't tell it. It looks like ugly green, like old green paint. But I'm sure you see the intercooler on the front. That is an intercooler, not an interfooler. And this thing has some decent, some name brand parts on it. It's got gritty parts on it. Yes, we're going to go ahead and pop the hood. It's an SR, boys. It's an SR. This is an early 2000s car. It was built in the early 2000s during the Fast and the Furious spiel, the whole scene for Fast and Furious. So it's got wires that go to nothing because most of the lights and shit have been pulled off. I pulled the interior out because it was awful. And the biggest issue with this car, apparently this was a running driving car, but somebody stole the ECU, the AEM standalone, and cut the harness. Yeah, all these wires, I gotta pull all this crap out. It's a bunch of wires that are there for no reason. I'm stepping on fenders. Oh, and it came with these dope Type X taillights. So what I'm thinking about doing is Huh. So what I'm thinking about doing is see the datsun money shot. Anyways, what I'm thinking about doing is since I fell in love with this car, and I probably more likely I do have it posted, but I'm probably gonna keep it. The best thing I've got offered for it so far was a motorcycle, because everybody wants it to run. So I need to replace the hatch because it did have a wing on it. And I took the wing off, and the mount for the wing has rusted a hole through the hatch. So I got to replace the hatch. But the rest of the car is rust free. I'm gonna go full Type X. I don't know if I'm gonna replace the S15 front end with an S13, go back to pop-ups with Type X front, or if I'm gonna keep the S15 front, because I really like the S13.5. It's really cool to see the S15 front on something other than an S15. But at the same time, full Type X is just beautiful. And it's already got an SR in it with work done to it. It's got a Grady intake manifold, Grady intercooler piping. I don't know what brand the intercooler is, but I'm gonna probably say it's Grady. This car was built in the early 2000s during the whole like Fast and the Furious scene, so like it's got some kind of shade tree mods done to it. The wiring is like a smorgasbord of fuckery, but the bones are there. The bones are there. Now the Datsun runs and drives. We'll go over that. Now see, no interior. I took all that out. So the Datsun runs and drives. I actually, I got it. It was completely stock. Like the bumpers and everything were still on it, but they were in shitty shape, and they're the giant 5-mile-an-hour bumpers. So I'm gonna get an air dam for it. I'm gonna get fender mirrors. I'm gonna do like I'm not gonna do a modern build with this so much as I am a somewhat period correct build. It's getting Watanabes. This mirror is coming off because it's gonna have the oh-so necessary fender mirrors on a Datsun. I took the rear bumper off and the fucking filler panel, and I got that side bumper shock out, but that side I have to drop the gas tank for. But look at this, like, hatch struts work. It does have some rust back here in this panel. These, I guess the previous owner decided instead of fixing the rust, he would just tape over it. So anywhere there's black Gorilla tape, there's rust. I changed out the garnish for the taillights and buffed the taillights to make them a little brighter. And this one is a factory 5-speed. And it actually gets to the gears really well. I drove it, but it don't stop very well. Yet. It don't stop very well yet. So when I got it, it would start up and run until it got warm, and then it would die. I did some research on the internet and found that this little sensor down there, and I don't know if you can see it, that little sensor down there, that coolant temp sensor, that thing right there, yeah. On these cars, that temperature, that coolant temp sensor controls how much, well, it tells the ECU what the temperature of the car is to control your fuel injectors. And since I didn't think it was the AFM, but the previous owner, the guy that got it from, did. Sorry, I'm holding the camera up in a weird angle, trying to get something. Anyways, the previous owner thought that it was the AFM, so he gave me an extra one, which is good because the one that was on the car, the little black cover that is siliconed onto the AFM, was taken off. But yeah, we'll start it up real quick. It is solid enough to sit in, so we're already doing better than the last Z. It does have some rust. I'm not too worried about the rust, but like obviously I'm gonna fix it. That's my plan. Floor pans are $400, and I'm gonna get Dylan, the guy who did my tubs in the 8.6 to weld in the new floor pans. Yeah, so my keys are heavy. It is a little slow to start.
Back and like.
A little high until it's warm. I cut the muffler off, so it's a little loud. It runs. Yeah, so the Datsun runs, the 240 doesn't. I'll probably drive it with the holes in the floor once I get the brakes fixed. It's solid enough, like I'm not going through the floor. I'm a big dude. This car's pretty roomy, and I don't know, I just really love these cars. So I'm going to do the basic mods like headlight covers. It will get lowered. I haven't decided if I'm going to put coilovers on it or if I'm going to just do a spring and shock. Since this is going to be just a street car, not planning on doing any racing with it or anything like that. I might drive it a little hard occasionally, but I'm thinking propane bushings, Vogtland lowering springs with KYB shocks, and eventually I would like to convert it to a triple Weber carburetor setup, just because I feel like it would be better. It will perform better on the street. Well, no, it won't perform better for daily practice or daily usage, but it will perform better for like spirited driving. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? What do you think? What would you do if you were in this situation? I have 2 cars now that need to be built. 3 cars if you include the Firebird. One is a simple build, the Z. One is a not so simple build, the S13. Anyways, guys, I hope you liked this video. I'm sorry it took me so long to upload again, but like I said, I've been going through some things, and I started a new job. I work early hours. If you want to see more on the Datsun or the S13, you can subscribe on here. You can follow me on TikTok. You can follow me on Instagram. I post on there frequently. I post on TikTok almost every day. Yeah, so there are a lot of ways to keep up with what I'm doing. Thanks for watching. Bye.